Blaze already knocking at the back door of the defense. That grenade's going to be good, and Beefy's going to go down. An excellent play by Birds. Now Blaze have to capitalize on this. They have to get in there. They have to go for this cap. They have to use shock and awe. Trip's going to find 1, 2. He's going to find 3. My goodness. That triple's going to wipe out almost what's left in Silence. Leftover Martyr Grenade will take down Trip, and that is going to help out the one remaining member of...
And it's your man, Pooh Nanners, your Texas caster and hype master.
And I am the caster whose name is not Amanda. I'm Sleepy. Yeah, something like that.
Don't
a ginger
put a question
panda thrown
mark
in there somewhere. I don't know.
Don't put a question mark in the teleprompter, guys. He will read it. That is right. We have got ourselves a packed show to do for you today. We're going to try to rush on through it. Please excuse my voice if you hang out at Dragon Con and go raving every night till 6 a.m. in the morning and attempt to talk to your friends while the music's blaring. You will lose your voice. MC Chris does not mess around. All right. So we're going to start off talking about the Big Red 1 and the Divided. Buxton says there's not much to say about this first match, but the Divided did take it with a cap on the final map, so let's take a look.
Yeah, and in our first and only clip from this series, it's going to come from the actual final play of the game, and that's going to be Neox here getting in. He takes a nice pick onto one of the members of Big Red 1 there, gets himself tucked in right up against the corner, and a nice clean cap to win. Well, actually, no, I'm sorry. This isn't the last round of the map, but he does get a nice 2-0 lead to start out the last map there.
It's close enough. It's close enough. It was the nail in the coffin. The Divided win the series 9-5. Moving on as fast as we can to the Blaze versus SMC Tactical. This match with both teams playing without their captains. Interesting move for both of them. It was Labor Day weekend, right? Or at least coming up to it. Blaze takes on their new starting lineup for this match against SMC, having seen both Edna and Trip pull off some stellar plays in other matches. Starting off with some clutch plays on Quarantine with Beefy and Soda, both stopping some very solid cap attempts from Blaze, and Soda managing to get one of his own. Then on to Cargo, where SMC did what SMC does best, where Trip was able to clutch the final round on a 1v3 and a nice, slow, and steady play behind enemy lines, a clip that Trip still watches repeatedly to this day. Closing out the series with Subway, Edna and Trip showing off their skills as Edna gets in a great cap right under the defender's nose using smoke in Chinatown, and Trip gets a triple to stop the Blaze cap. I believe the new Dream Team is Trip and Edna. Let's take a look.
So it would appear, and our first clip is going to come from the first map. Yes, first map, Downfall, which SMC managed to take away from Blaze here quite handedly in a 4-0 victory, and we're going to see Captain Soda earning his, well, at least the first 3 letters of his name. He gets a nice pick onto 0 on the backside of the defense. And during this match, I remember speaking about this, that Blaze is just, they're too far off now. They've got such a long route and such open positions to go through in order to get to these routes. You know, they're really asking for it being that far off the objective when that happened. And they do rush away, but they unfortunately don't even know Captain Soda's there. As you can see, he gets the uplink, comes around the corner, and actually manages to finish off.
Nice.
We roll into our next one, and this will be probably one of the longest grenade throws ever, even though it does get some help from one of the routes. But we'll see here in just a moment as Silent Night, and I believe it was Verds, and I almost miss it here because I was actually looking and talking about the positioning on the map. You can see the grenade trail there just kind of off screen.
Oh, he bounced it.
It just hit the lip of that red roof there and just kind of bounced a little bit farther, and it managed to take down 2 members of Animal, or I want to say Animal House because Silent Night's there, but he's on Blaze now.
How do you get 2 people with a bounce nade? That's amazing.
Yeah, I don't know. It's amazing. They do get them up, but later on, they do go down later, as well as we know it's a 4-0 loss to Blaze on that map. Then in our third one here is when Trip is just going to be out for blood. So much so, in fact, that he's going to go ahead and shoot Pone Cake in the back to get SMC the round.
Amazing.
And then here we go. The same clip we saw at the top of the show, but as Poonanners mentioned, Trip loves watching it over and over and over again. And I remember this play quite well. In fact, this was what looked to be a great assault onto the objective from Blaze, but Trip comes around the corner there and just manages to lay a nice volley of fire out, taking down 3. But unfortunately for him, Silent Night, who had already prepped a frag, he will be taken down by that after-death grenade.
Here, Trip is going to get a tattoo of that kill feed on him.
Yeah, and then for our final clip, this is actually the final round, or no, I'm sorry, not the final round of the map. But this is the last map, and this is where Edna will get the cap here under the nose of Prefontaine. Now, there was a bit of confusion kind of going around at the time of this match because, well, you'll see here in just a few moments the smoke's already been popped. Trip's throwing out smokes for Edna to give her cover. She finds an excellent pick onto Zero with that angle, and then she doubles back for a second, then decides, you know what, I'm actually going to come in, I'm going to push off of that. Chucks out a grenade, a little flashbang there, and Prefontaine, okay, he's going to come across. You'll see him there running towards the left, and he's running right by her. He cannot see her. Now, he's going to come back towards the objective. He's going to be checking around backside, front side. You can hear me on the cast if you watched it, freaking out because he can't see her. And there, a couple of times there where Prefontaine should have been able to see it. Come to find out later, though, Prefontaine says on his end he couldn't actually see the smoke or Edna there, so he had no idea what was going on. I want to make it clear he was not using it as an excuse, and he told me that because it wouldn't have affected the series at all. But yeah, he's not sure exactly what happened. But either way, great play from SMC in that game. Blaze definitely probably going to be issuing that challenge match, I'd hope, soon enough.
If my math is correct, SMC Tactical not only took it 12-2, but as we said earlier, SMC had Edna and Trip doing a lot of the heavy lifting, it appears. We had our director, Trip, in our heads saying they were the SMC Asians. I think they're also the smallest members of the team. Is that right? That is correct. They're the smallest members. So I wonder if you're going to start seeing Onward trend towards smaller players. Start recruiting at those high schools, folks. All right, moving on to VRAth versus the Divided. Yet again, as Buxton would say, not too much to say about this match, although it looks like VRAth almost took this one. The scoreline shows more than the Divided had, at least for us to see. They had a big sore spot on Cargo, and the VRAth exploited that one big time on the final map, but not quite early enough to take the match. Let's take a look.
Yeah, and here in our first clip, we'll see a very explosive start to a round on Tanker here. A nice G36 kill from Neox of the Divided as he picks off a member of VRAth. And then just, here we go, nades out. Shots ringing in. 2 kills are confirmed there from Project 8 and Game Reaper. Then Snowbird down Project VR. Looks like with a shield and rifle combination. And then oh, okay, that's where the explosion comes in. We see the C4 pop up. It gets one of the kills, and then Neox pops over and finds another to end the round. That's what they meant by explosive. I think they meant more of like explosive in the sense of action, not so much in the sense of explosives. And with our next quick, Neox is going in with the rest of Dead Logic, and well, you know what? They just left the front door hanging open because we're going to watch here. As he just kind of walks straight in. You can see him. I think that's him right there in the center of the screen. Moving up rather slowly but carefully. He does get in there, and he gets the cap. I mean, nobody any the wiser, and the Divided take the map.
That's the sickness move. They're starting to learn.
Now on to map number 2 for our final clip from the series. A Molotov actually going to be used for the first useful time, as Buxton says, in a match. But it does also look like some team kills came out in this clip as well. So while we didn't quite get to see the effective use of the Molotov,
just on fire.
The remnant aftermath of it there as the camera fades out from the
It's
match.
a good thing that the entire map on that one in particular is all fire retardant, so the fire doesn't last for very long.
Yes.
Not going to lie, though, it would be hilarious if the building starts burning down and you lose the uplink. The Divided win the series 8-7. Really good plays from them. And
Sure was.
Good plays all around, even coming from VRAth. No offense there. I don't know what that phrasing was weird. Excuse me, I'm drunk. All right, moving on to Silent Purge versus Vikings. They played a Cassis match over the weekend, and it was so good that we just had to clip this one for them. Silent Purge opened strong on the maps, grabbing the early lead each time, but the Vikings answered back. Love the Viking plays, shutting down the game to a 3-map win. Let's take a look.
Yeah, now RPT of Silent Purge is going to grab a brilliant clutch here on Bazaar. He's really going to have to just hold it down for Silent Purge here, who were looking as if they were actually going to lose this round. You can see on your screen there, Vikings still have 3 members up, and it's just RPT all by himself here. And in the match, I recall going over, why I think, this could be a bad idea. RPT, though, will prove me wrong. He'll find one onto Corsi and help thin out the herd. It's now just him and 2 others as he tucks himself back in right on top of the objective. Of course, that is his main focus. That is his main goal. Make sure nobody caps that, especially since he's by himself. But no, he's going to find another. And now it's all up to that last member of Vikings. And can they do it? Well, I'm going to say no because, spoiler alert, I watched this one. Anyways, RPT will pop out the corner. And unfortunately for Spoilty, he cannot land the shots fast enough. RPT picks up the frag and the point, giving Silent Purge the edge on map 1. Then as we go into Cargo, Silent Purge look like they are pinched in the middle with nowhere to go. You can see their Don Patron, just both sides of him completely occupied. But no, they managed to push out. They find one pick. They find the confirmation on it. Don Patron's going to get risky. He's like, okay, I'm going inside. He waits for the defender to rotate in. Of course, he finds him, and the next thing we know, 2 Wolves picking up the last kill, and Silent Purge have taken yet another round. Silent Purge executing very well on Marsoc during this match. In our next one, we have Spoilty sneaking around the center house. He's going to be looking for the 2 remaining members of Silent Purge here in this round on Suburbia, and he is just a sneaky little guy. RPT, kind of the bread and butter of the Silent Purge offense and defense during this matchup. Standing right here. Yeah, I know. Good thing they put up some cardboard in front of the mirror or the windows in the last update. You can't see through those anymore, or else he'd have been dead fairly quickly. And as you can see there, he does manage to find it. Spoilty taking the win there for Silent Purge. And lastly, as we get into our very final round, Vikings are going to push hard for this northeastern objective. A grenade will pop up over the bushes from Spoilty onto Jay. And that'll be about it. And then the defense, oh, man, this was an insane
Look at that pop fly.
Clutch.
Does it get anybody? Ooh.
Yeah, so Vikings they're setting up right now. At the moment, Nightfire and I are talking about how concerned we are with the defense on the side of Silent Purge. Personally, we weren't very impressed with how this defense was working out. And as you can see from the smoke coverage, it lent for a lot of possibility. And there we can see Corsi just going in for it. He's going hammer. He's trying to go in for his team and get that win, close this final map, and be done with it. And there it is. He's done it. He gets the uplink. He gets his 2 points and ends that 3rd map. And finally, the series, after Vikings had to work so hard to take that win away from Silent Purge.
Yeah, Vikings win the series 6 to what I believe is a mean 13, picking up those 5 points on Bizarre Day to get them over the typical 12 that you see when people are able to take every map. Well done, Vikings. Vikings continuing to show us how strong and powerful they are. Really good work from them. Anything else you think about seeing Vikings continue to play strong and just amazing plays week over week?
No, I mean, I'm excited to continue watching them. I'd like to see how it continues going forward, especially in the realm of consistency at high level. They've already taken down beginners in that series. They managed to pull off this win over Silent Purge, which is a little less impressive, obviously, because Silent Purge just isn't quite beginners, you know what I mean? But Silent Purge showing that they are definitely an enemy to be reckoned with. And I really hope that this match happens again this season. I'd really love to see a rematch here because literally every round, just so close. That game was quite a long one, but not because teams were like wasting a bunch of time. No, it was really because teams had to use all the time between reactionary, defenses and things like that. It just happened.
Moving on to Blaze versus Mob Squad. There's a very unfortunate event here. Mob Squad had to forfeit this match due to some of their players being in the vicinity of Hurricane Dorian and thus not able to make the match. It's just unfortunate. So the scoreline ends up running 12-0 as it does default that they weren't able to make it. But it's like, I was like, come on, it was an act of God. An act of God stopped Mob Squad.
We originally that's what I was pushing for because I was supposed to cast this game and I already had our countdown timer live and was waiting for lobby information and things, and that's when I got the messages. And I actually tried to push for a postponement for Mob Squad because of the fact that it is forces of nature type thing. But our Semper from Mob Squad messaged me and said, you know what, as kind of a token of our apology for doing this kind of last minute and wasting people's times, we'll go ahead and take the forfeit and accept our loss like men and in order to show both Blaze and everyone else, like, hey, we are sorry that we did this. So try not to give anyone too much trouble. Don't be messing with Mob Squad or anything like that. I commend them for taking that.
Don't
forfeit.
at you, right?
Well, I mean, I can say that. People are going to at me anyway, so what's the point anymore? But no, seriously, they took their consequences like men, even though I personally would have voted to give them a bye on it. But you know what? That's the way it is. So I don't want to hear any crap talking about Mob Squad in that storm, all right?
Moving on to another last-minute match. This match on Sunday between Blaze, who were not able to play their match before, and Space Force.
They put this together in like 30 minutes after the match fell through with G-Men. It was quite impressive. They were like, do you want to cast this one? I'm like, no, I just tore down everything. I'm not setting back up now to get back into it. But yeah, no, that was quite impressive to throw together a challenge match that. So.
Yeah, they decided to make a challenge match, add some extra fun to it. It's a tight match all around. With Space Force, it always goes back and forth and can end either way. On Suburbia, it was 2-2. Then Space Force snuck through smoke on the objective, pulled the cap out to win the map. Then Blaze was able to shake it off and decided on Quarantine Day as their map. And with a dashing of dumb luck, as Buxton would say, and some teamwork, managed to make it a 4-0. But Space Force pulled a strong plot twist, picking Subway for the final map. Oh, how much do we love that map. Towards the end, Blaze was 1-3, but didn't give up, ultimately winning it back by defending and winning North Objective, and then defending with a solid triple kill from Verds. Let's take a look.
Nice. Well, this one's going to be coming from a point of view here, and it's going to be Silent Night, if I'm correct. And this is going to be him getting a nice triple on Subway. As you can see at the beginning of the clip, he basically runs right into one of the guys, loads him up full of lead, and there's number 2. Looks like he's on a flank here on the north stairs, and boom! There's number 3, Silent Night, man, just on fire. So I'm wondering, is this Silent Night, or is this Silent Night watching Verds? Because they do mention Verds getting a triple kill, so...
Tell us in the comments below. If my notes are correctly, Blaze win the series 10-7. That's right, 10-7. Keep your notes together, guys. All right, moving on to, I believe this is our last match to talk about, is Riot versus Team Spectrum. TFH tried to pull one over on us by submitting his recap in Dutch, but he didn't realize that the reach of V-Respawn, mostly because of Vivian and our production team over at The Hive, who called up their international correspondent, Rowdy, for the play-by-play. So let's take a look.
Hello everyone, this is Rowdy Guy, the world's fastest YouTuber and your go-to source for Dutch-related Onward news. Dutch-related Onward news? Seriously? Well, at least I got something to do around here now.
We need to switch our intro to this.
Alright, well let's get to it with this match between Riot en Team Spectrum. Spectrum, goede groep mensen om mee te spelen. TFH en bemanning ontkende Spectrum zelfs een punt. We speelden veel kaarten. De beste kaarten? Ronnie was een kapmachine? I'm sorry, I can't read this. Vivian! Who wrote this piece of crap? Is this guy drunk or what? Okay. Yeah. Okay, I just got word that there's also footage from the night that this guy wrote this kind of stuff. Let's take a look. Wow. Now that is some bad dancing. This is the kind of stuff that literally destroys someone's career. Utterly devastating. Anyways, that would be minus 200 points for Team Riot. Alright, I think that's about all of the screen time as you guys can afford, right? Okay. Yep. Back to the studio.
I'm telling you, we're taking that intro. Oh, okay, so I believe Riot ends up winning over Team Spectrum 13-0. For those of you who did not catch what he said there, please see the translation down below in the description. I'm kidding, we're not putting that down there. Moving on, let's take a look at how this affects the standings. So, Globachem and Beginners, usual suspects on top. G-Men and Danglers coming up right behind. Not too much different there. Sleepy, Vikings knocking on that door, number 5, tied up with Danglers. Do you think that's going to happen this next week? What's up?
I don't know. We'll see. I mean, for some reason, Danglers didn't get a matchup in Button Cup, or at least so it appears. I don't know. A lot of people chickening out of this Button Cup that's coming up next week, and
Does that
I
mean
don't know
Global
how
Chem
I
might
feel
win this
about it.
one? Does it mean NA might win this one?
I'm pretty sure we've won the last few, but
Oh, okay.
anyways. No, but yeah, a lot of people aren't participating. I don't know. The Vikings are definitely capable of taking it away from Danglers, absolutely, especially the way they played against Silent Purge. So I'd be interested to see it, but the Danglers have been buckling down a lot as well, so it's hard to tell anymore.
Boss fight all the way down to position 8. Mighty have fallen, at least for now. Yeah.
I don't have a womp.
Yeah, none of that. Legionnaires and Mayhem sitting on the top 10. Animal House in 11 again, just kind of holding strong. I remember like when we first started seeing Animal House, they were way down, I think like in the high teens or early 20s. So this is a good position for them, 2 seasons later. We'll see if they'll continue their rise or if they'll be able to hold on to it. Really great seeing all these guys play, especially Vikings. I think Vikings are the real story here, and Mayhem, obviously, really shaking things up this season. I can't wait to see more from these guys.
Absolutely. No, I completely agree with that. Both of those teams worth a watch this season. Both of them worth a follow for the rest of the season. Just to see where they end up, in my opinion.
Well, that is all we have for you today. Thanks to all our players and viewers for supporting the show. Show us some love in the comments. Get a conversation going. Let's get some talking back and forth, guys. Things that you want us to do, some changes you want us to make. If you want us to move like the theme songs and be taking like the Dutch theme song, what are we doing, man? Come on, give us some ideas. This helps more people know about the league in general because it ranks up. People can see that. Let's take a look. Let's try it.
Absolutely. And of course, don't forget, folks, keep your clips coming. I mean, Dawkins giving us great resources on the website to be able to submit those. Of course, we have Chloe, who likes to crack the whip in the old Discord each week to make sure you guys are submitting things. But also, even if your match wasn't casted, it doesn't mean you can't send something in. So send us some clips from your own POV stream if you got it. If it's recorded and you didn't stream it, but you still have it, send it to us. We can always clip it because we could always use more clips here on the V-Respawn recap show for Onward.
We're going to keep on begging so you guys keep on sending it. Right now, they're doing a pretty decent job, though. I'm not going to lie. The show, I think...
it's been great.
The show, I think, has never been easier to write. Let's be honest about that. Again, I am Poonanders, joined by VRML modcaster and former Dangler Sleepy.
That's right, and the show is, of course, brought to you by VRespawn.com, your one and only source for VR esports news and entertainment. So be sure to like and subscribe to all the channels, hit all the bells and whistles, and make sure that you can hear Rowdy's fun little recorder news music at any time that our next video goes live.
That's right, esports news. We're also branching out to social content. We're pulling in the Hive. We're also grabbing a bunch of commentators and content creators and streamers so that we can be just a one-stop shop for you to find everything you need to know about what's going on in VR as far as the people go, not just the games and the reviews.
Like VR Amazon.
Yeah, well, it's just like, the people. That's what we do.
Sure.
We're online in like Alt Space. We're online and like Onward and like we have our Discords we hang out in, our various tournaments we go to. And
so hit us up on MySpace, everyone.
Yes, MySpace is actually going to be our new place that we're going to reach out to. It's a new social platform. You may not have heard of it.
Yeah,
actually, I'm thinking about branching out to TikTok. I think we're getting a bunch of high schoolers
awesome.
and TikTokers will be fun. All right, this episode was written by Buxton with the help of all our team captains. I believe Vivian and Trip and Pink Stingray also all jumped in onto the keyboard. All praise unto Buxton, who suffers at the keyboard, so you don't have to. Triple Nipple, as always, is our outstanding director, telling us what to do in our headsets. And a special shout out to our international correspondent, Rowdy Guy, for helping us translate TFH's recap. Send us home, Sleepy.
All right, well, thanks for coming out, everyone. Again, don't forget to like and subscribe to the video so you know that the next time that we go live is... And, of course, stay tuned and tune in next week as we'll be back for Onward Season 8, Week 8. Coming at you. Good night, everyone.